It was so fascinating to me in yesterday's class. Holy crap. Like, this, and it's fantastic that we're in a space that allows for this kind of thing to happen. But again, there was a scene that transpired, and this one woman, her scene partner, did not have his SHIT together. He just was like, it wasn't about dropping lines, because that happens, but like, he wasn't really like even, I think he was really having a hard time being in the room, and like at one point he went to go get his line, and like like he was on page 2 and he was supposed to be on page 11. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and his bigger thing is tardiness and lateness keep showing up in his work in a way that's unprepared. So, what's fascinating about it is that all of this stuff was feeding into the scene, because it always becomes, what you're feeling is always the scene. And ironically, just the text itself supported that. It's a scene in which the woman is telling her boyfriend, I've had it with you, I'm done with you, I don't want to be with you anymore, you're a douchebag, get out. I mean, it's basically what she's saying, you know? But it's Tennessee Williams speak. But so not like I just said it. Okay, so how perfectly applicable is what she was actually feeling in the scene, because her scene partner did not have his stuff together, which is dovetailing into the actual meaning of the text, right? But she kept suppressing it and kept locking down the voice. It was fascinating. Afterwards, she talked a little bit about it. Didn't really have the release, and then I talked to her scene partner, and then all of a sudden she said, can I say something? And she blew up! I mean, it was volcanic force in a way I have not seen at the studio in a long time. It was amazing. There was gnashing of teeth, and hitting the walls, and picking up the couch, and slamming the couch, and all of this rage, and it was fantastic. First of all, my auditors were like, ah! But it's fantastic that she's in a safe enough space that she needed to express it. However, I mean, it was a floor show, let me tell you. It was really intense. However, what was amazing was, of course, the vocal and emotional opening. And then I wanted her to go to the text, and by then she did not want to go to the text. So the ego was preventing her from having the opening in the scene. And also, interestingly enough, ironically, getting the Uber message, the meta message, which is she keeps seemingly gets partnered with people who bring up her stuff. Isn't that the universal teacher? It's so maddening. It's so maddening. And yet it can be your best teacher when you begin to align with, I got this message, I don't need to keep repeating it. The only way to get around it is not around it, it's through it, by using my stuff. Because until you do, isn't it ironic? Haven't you all, oh my gosh, here I'm facing the same stuff I thought I dealt with when I was 20. Oh, I guess I did not really deal with it, and here it is again. In life and in your work. So the scene was showered with, to me, irony, I guess. I don't know if that's the right use of the word, but, and she still couldn't see it, even though everybody in class could. Right? Fascinating, fascinating learning. Makes sense to everybody? So, listen, when you're in it, I get it. It's not really easy to stop and identify, oh, that's the ego putting its clamp down on it. And I'm sure now she probably has. But I think the way we're all speaking it and really exploring things here, you do have the skills to begin to see the distinction. So my whole thrust of what makes me most excited and the things that I keep applying and learning in my life, that's why I think I'm good at teaching it, because it's the things that I need to keep learning as well, is how do you not let that conditioned thought prevent you from moving forward in life? That's it. So whether it's as simple as going to the dentist and you haven't been in like 2 years, or going to the, okay, all right, the eye doctor or whatever, or more apropos to acting. Make sense, everybody? So, yes, Rachel.
I just want to say, so you're saying the answer to this, or to try to make it better, is just making choices that are forcing you to do whatever it is that you need to. Is that what it is?
No.
You're describing something that I think we all relate to, but then how are you saying you don't do that? How are you saying that you don't allow the ego then to...
Well, I think it's, Rachel, I think what you want to do first is, most of us are on automatic pilot. A lot of people in the world don't even have this distinction yet. So the thing is how do you, when your stuff gets triggered, how do you not let being on autopilot take over the situation? And instead, be aware of, I do have a choice. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to, like I said, go down that rabbit hole. It's okay. Listen, like I said, my family was here and some stuff came up with me and one of my siblings, and I knew I was like, oh, God, no, I don't want to. Don't do it. But I wanted to. But it's okay. At least I'm aware of it. And so instead of stewing about it for like a month, it's only been like, a week. That sounds like a lot. It's not like 24/7. But I've talked to a couple people about it. Can you believe this? And like, really, that's just, again, the ego's, I'm right, that person's wrong, that person should be behaving in the way that my ego is telling me he should behave, expectation. You see, it starts, once you begin to see the whole, you can really pull it out and see, oh my God, that's all my stuff. So, a deeper lesson is you need to be thankful and bless all of these wonderful people that annoy the shit out of you because they're your best teachers, if you're really willing to do the work. You guys, you just cannot put the blinders on. The things that you have been avoiding and putting on the back burner, you have to address. You have to. Oh yeah, no, I'm not really ready to do that yet. No, you are. You are. I mean, one can argue, sometimes I say, well, if the system were ready, then you would do it. But I think especially with this group, especially because you have the tools to know the difference, you are. So the only thing that's keeping you from stepping into that is you get hooked in the explanation of it, the excuse of it, the rationalization of it, the neural groove that has worn itself on your brain. So Rachel, did I answer that question in a roundabout way? Which is basically, the tool is you just have to find a way of emotionally, energetically, through conversation, dialogue, communication, finding a way of adjusting that situation so that as your stuff gets triggered, you don't go down the lie. That's it. You don't get snagged by the lie. Because that's all they are. That is all they are.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the work. There is no other work to do in life, you guys. There is no other work to do in life. This is what the interesting thing, it's no great mystery. Because what, listen, when Nick gets the job on Chuck, he's going to show up on set, and what's going to happen? His stuff is going to come up as it should. It will. You think it ends just because you get the job? Now you got to show up. And now NBC, see, this is how we think. NBC is breathing down my neck, and oh my God, I don't want to mess up with the producer and the director, and oh my God, my agent, and oh, I got to get my SAG carded. This is what happens. So you have to have the tools to not go down that road. You get what I'm saying? It does not end. Every good actor what's the guy who's in, I haven't seen that movie yet. I mean, I always use Meryl Streep, but, the guy that's in that new movie with Julianne Moore. Colin Firth said when he got offered, what's the name of the movie? A Single Man. He wanted to turn it down. He wanted to turn it down. He was writing an email to the director saying, I can't do this. And then, I guess the universe interceded and he ended up doing it. It doesn't ever go away, is the point. You just have to start learning how to maneuver and negotiate and work with that. It need not stop you in its tracks. Those are good examples.